Big breaking news this afternoon. President Trump saying a short time ago that 2 nuclear submarines, Ohio-class submarines, are on the move because of comments made by former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev. On Monday, he said, quote, each new ultimatum from Trump is, quote, a step towards war. Now the president, posting on Truth Social, quote, based on the highly provocative statements of the former president of Russia, Dmitry Medvedev, who is now the deputy chairman of the Security Council of the Russian Federation, I have ordered 2 nuclear submarines to be positioned in the appropriate regions. Just in case these foolish and inflammatory statements are more than just that, words are very important and can often lead to unintended consequences. I hope this will not be one of those instances. With that, we bring in Dan Hoffman, former CIA station chief in Moscow and a Fox News contributor who you all know very well. Dan, thank you very much for being here. What's your reaction to all of this?
Well, look, finally, this has come to a head. Dmitry Medvedev has made these sort of threats, this rhetorical nuclear brinkmanship, going back to after Russia launched their brutal invasion of Ukraine. He did it because he induced the Biden administration not to give Ukraine the military support that Ukraine needed. Every time Russia threatened nuclear war, the Biden administration was so concerned that they were too afraid to give Ukraine what they needed. So Russia got what they wanted. If anybody studied psychology, it's straight out of Skinner's behaviorism. But the risk that you run with those threats is that we inch towards a potential nuclear conflict, which no one wants. And so President Trump is clearly messaging Vladimir Putin that this is irresponsible rhetoric from his deputy national security advisor. He's messaging the Russian army so that we don't have some miscalculation, God forbid. And he's messaging all the other nuclear powers to be responsible with their nuclear arms and not do this.
Yeah, these are extraordinary submarines. One Ohio-class sub could nuke 160 cities, according to the assessments. And, you know, I think there's a feeling that we haven't seen this kind of movement of this sort of weaponry probably since the Cuban Missile Crisis. So the president's sending a very strong message. And as you point out, Dan, when President Biden was in office, this sort of kept him, you know, very nervous about escalation and not really helping in the Ukraine war to the extent that maybe was necessary. Dan Hoffman, thank you very much. Good to have you here.
Thanks. Good to see you.
Thank you, sir.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.